Long ago, there lived a king and a queen who said every day, "If only we had a child." But for a long time, they had none. One day, as the queen was bathing in a spring, a frog crept out of the water and said, "Your wish shall be fulfilled. Before a year has passed, you will bring a beautiful daughter into this world." In such frogs or such magical creatures, it was no surprise that after a year had passed, the queen had a beautiful baby girl. The child was so beautiful and sweet that the king and queen could not contain their joy for themselves. The king prepared a great feast and invited all of his friends, family, and neighbors. He also invited the fairies, in order that they might be good and kind to the young child. There were 13 fairies in the kingdom, but as the king was aware that he only had 12 golden plates to serve the fairies on, he was aware that he could only serve 12 of them, and that one must not come. None of the guests were saddened by this that the 13th fairy could not come, because they knew that the 13th fairy was cruel and spiteful. An amazing feast was held, and when it came to an end, each of the fairies presented the child with a magical gift. One gift was virtue, the other beauty, a third riches, and so on, with everything in the world that anyone could wish for. After 11 of the fairies had presented their gifts, the 13th suddenly appeared. She was angry and wanted to show her spite for not having been invited to the feast. Without hesitation, she called out in a loud voice, "When she is 15 years old, the princess shall touch a spindle and fall down dead." Then, without another word, she turned and left the hall. The guests were horrified, and the queen fell to the floor sobbing. But the 12th fairy, whose wish was still not spoken, quietly stepped forward. Her magic could not remove the curse, but her magical powers could soften the curse. She said to the queen, "Nay, your daughter shall not die, but instead shall fall into a deep sleep that will last 100 years. Over the years, the promises of the fairies came true one by one. The princess grew to be a beautiful, modest, kind, and clever young lady. Everyone who saw her could not help but love her.